I saw this article today on news.com.au titled, "Disgrace, is everything wrong with Australia? The Spencer Laniu NRL racism storm highlights how wrong Australia has got its priorities." It's written by a lady by the name of Maddie Brennan Mills. This is her Instagram page where she states, "Living on Darawal country," modern-day Sydney Harbour and Botany Bay and so on. I think that one statement pretty much sums up her position on the issue. Her Instagram link links to the very article that I showed you before. It should be noted that the article is labelled opinion, so of course we should keep that in mind. She states, "A young Torres Strait Islander man, ma'am, who dedicates himself to his community, had to endure a racial slur. He was called a monkey on the rugby field, as I talked about in my previous video." She then states, "This situation is a stark reminder that racism remains deeply embedded in our society, a burden First Nations people carry every single day." But what got me was what she said regarding Australian soccer captain Sam Kerr. She said, "Sam Kerr called a London police officer a stupid white bastard, which by definition is not racism at all." I just like to call BS on that, and I hope many of you would agree with me. I know what she's getting at. Many academics of late are stating that people of colour face systemic exclusion and marginalisation based on historically rooted power imbalances and racial hierarchies that put white people at the top, and therefore white people cannot experience racism. It's BS, but they keep repeating it. She continues, "While assumptions and stereotypes about white people do exist, this is considered racial prejudice, not racism. Reverse racism is a myth." Actually, I agree with her that reverse racism is a myth because the whole idea of reverse racism is nonsensical in my opinion. Reverse racism is racism and should be called as such. Saying that only white people can't experience racism is in itself racist in my opinion. It's saying that only certain people of certain colours can experience racism. If you look at the Oxford Dictionary definition of racism, it states, "Prejudice, discrimination or antagonism by an individual, community or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership of a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalised." Noting they use the word typically, not exclusively or specifically to only a certain group. Racism is racism, and it either applies to all people or it doesn't apply at all. But of course, they'd probably claim that the Oxford Dictionary is run by white people. The problem is, the definition for racism has now become debatable because the activists don't want it to apply to white people. They're trying to modify the definition. For any other fact, there is no debate. A cloud is a visible mass of miniature liquid droplets. That's just what it is. There's no debate. That's scientific fact. But racism, it seems to be a bit wishy-washy. The fact that people can't agree on it means it's not a clear thing. And this BS about white people being at the top of the hierarchy, you can just look around and see that it's verifiably not true. I went to the doctor just recently, and every doctor in the local medical centre is of Indian or Sri Lankan or Bangladeshi descent, people from the Indian subcontinent, and that's fine. They obviously worked hard at medical school or wherever and became doctors in Australia. Most of their patients, because it's a bulk billed clinic, are poor white people. The doctors are obviously getting paid a lot more than their patients. In Australia, they've done very well for themselves. Do they face systemic exclusion and marginalisation because of their ethnicity? Obviously not. To say that they're being systemically treated unfairly is a lie. I saw this video from Spanian. He's a YouTuber who travels to all these hoods around the world. He recently went to Melton on the outskirts of Melbourne. Statistically, it is one of the most disadvantaged cities in Australia. Many of its residents are affected by drug addiction, criminality, violence and so on, and by and large, most of them were Caucasian. Is this an example of a country where white people are at the top of the hierarchy? Head over to Box Hill in Melbourne and you'll find many middle-class or wealthy Asian families. Are they suffering at the hands of the evil white people who sit at the top of the racial hierarchy? This whole thing is just BS to keep us divided. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm going to keep calling them out on this, and I hope that you do too.